Hi, my name is Marlies Henderson. I'll be your guide on a 10-minute walk. Across from me is the Middlesex Canal Museum. It's open now. You can use the facilities, you can use some refreshments, and you can watch the wonderful exhibits at the museum. And I have the choice for you. You can either go to the museum, then go on a walk, or go on a walk and then go to the museum. Which one of you will be with me on the first walk? Good. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand again. You know that works now. We're standing in front of the Billerica Dam within the Billerica Mill District. And in 1839, who was here but Henry David Thoreau? Henry David Thoreau was a young man, 22 years of age, and he was a bit rebellious. He said of this dam behind me, who knows what may avail a crowbar against that Billerica Dam? Oh yeah. Once that dam was a controversial monument to human ingenuity, but today the dam blasts obsolete. It's obsolete. It has no function, but it's beautiful. So, yeah, the dam. When did this start? In 1710, the first dam was built by early settlers. It was still the British colony. And before that, for thousands of years, it was the sacred tribal fishing ground for the native tribes. Thousands of years. And why? Because every spring there would be an abundance of fish coming from the ocean, swimming upstream to their upstream breeding grounds where they would spawn. There would be so much salmon, herring, alewife, shad that you could see less water than fish for all the crowdedness. And Thoreau was hinting at the poor shad. Where is thy redress? And I will stand with you. And he's standing with us now too. Huh? It's all water over the dam and under the bridge. But Thoreau was angry and he wanted to stand with the fish because of the dam. Anyway, 100 years later, so 1710, now we go to 1803, they were talking about a canal. There were no highways, there were no airplanes, no trains, just horses and bumpy roads. So they were talking about building a canal, a 27-mile canal from Lowell to Boston. I have to work with my mirror image here. So New Hampshire is there, Boston is there, and the canal connects the two, and it can go all the way to New Hampshire up to get granite for Quincy Market, lumber to build the cities and all their industries, and then cotton can come from the south to Lowell and Manchester for all the mills there. So it was a bustling business, and it was a very important highway. It had its mill pond, its summit pond, to feed the canal down to Boston and down to Lowell. This was the summit pond in Billerica. And there was a floating towpath right behind me for the horse to walk from one side of the canal to the other side of the canal through the summit, which fed the canal both ways. It was masterful, a monument to human ingenuity. But in 50 years, it was taken over by the train. And the mills used to be fed by hydropower, but it quickly switched to steam power because it was more reliable. So what's the dam now but a hazard? Let's go to a different point. We're walking to an interpretive sign, which has the map again. Boston, Lowell, the canal is in between. The red spot shows where we are. And I'm going to show you here also is a cross section of the canal and a boat that is towed by a horse. And that's what you would see in between 1803 and even 39. Thoreau was on this canal, and Thoreau can be seen on the picture here. And he traveled with his brother from Concord, camped in Billerica along the river, and then on the next day went to the, anyway, let me read from his notes. But now at length we heard the staid and primitive river rush into her fall like any rill. We here left its channel, just above the Billerica Falls, and entered the canal, which runs, or rather is conducted, 6 miles through the woods to the Merrimack at Middlesex. And as we did not care to loiter in this part of our voyage, industry, I didn't say, while one ran along the towpath, drawing the boat by a cord, the other kept it off the shore with a pole, so that we accomplished the whole distance in little more than an hour. This canal is fed by the Concord, so that we were still floating on its familiar waters. It's so much water which the river lets for the advantage of commerce. There appeared some want of harmony in its scenery, since it was not of equal date with the woods and meadows through which it is led, and we missed the conciliatory influence of time on land and water. But, says Thoreau, in the lapse of ages, nature will recover and indemnify herself and gradually plant fit shrubs and flowers along its borders. Thus, all works pass directly out of the hands of the architect into the hands of nature. And nature has taken this into her own hands, and plants and shrubs and flowers have been planted along the canal. We don't know when she will recover and indemnify herself right here by the river. This dam may look peaceful, but it's been controversial since the beginning, when the farmers were upset about the dam, believing and blaming the dam that it flooded their meadows. And it may look solid, but it definitely has cracks and leaks. And we don't know, it hasn't been maintained since 1850. If all of a sudden, under the worst case scenario circumstances of hurricane, power outage, torrential rainstorms, floods, and all of a sudden this dam should breach, like other dams have broken in this nation, and then a surge of water would go to Lowell and destroy a neighborhood. Now, of course, once it was a controversial monument to human ingenuity, but now the dam is obsolete. So yeah, first it was tribal fishing grounds for thousands of years. Then came the mills that used the hydropower. Then came the canal that used the hydropower. But the hydropower is no longer needed, and the fish can still not go back up. So are we now going to admire the pretty dam at the risk of not having clean drinking water, because behind me the water chestnut is going to choke out the complete pond and stop all life and oxygen in the pond, and make sort of the river and our water intake more difficult to treat at the water treatment plant? Are we going to risk that our food supply is also going to be jeopardized because the fish can no longer spawn and breed upstream? Are we going to risk Lowell getting neighborhoods destroyed because of this sudden surge when the dam breaks. It's not if, it's when. Yes, history is important. I totally agree. And the museum testifies to all the human ingenuity and the wonderful feats of engineering that have happened right here in Billerica. So by all means, support the museum, but consider if we should further deny the dam issue. I have some coupons, some vouchers for you. If you bring these to the museum, then you can get $1 off from your membership. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And we will soon have another walk if you wanted to do it again. Thank you.